Alright, there's still people asking what is it and what do you do? Earth 2, this is what you do. Basically it's a game where you can buy parts of the Earth. So if you watched the video, I'd recommend you watch this first up, and this will give you a brief idea on what it's about. Okay, there's one clip here that sort of gives you a bit of an example of what it should look like when they're done with it, which is here. And you can see they've gone almost like VR, three-dimensional type world. Now I've seen places like this on Google Earth. You can scan Google Earth and there's already places like this exist. They did say that buildings won't be in the game, so stage 1 at the moment you can still see buildings in the game and stuff like that, and people have been buying up all the buildings, which sort of doesn't make sense because there's no point buying buildings if they're not going to be there. If you go to Google Earth, there's structures like this which I have found. Okay, now I believe in the future this is what the game will look like. This is my thoughts on it. People will build this sort of stuff in the game, and you can go through it and you can look around and use these sort of things. So if you wanted to build your mansion somewhere, you can go ahead and do that. Okay, this is a part of Google Earth I found. There's lots of stuff around here to look at. There's churches that have been done. Okay, they're all three-dimensional. Okay, you can even go down here and have a look at this sort of stuff, and this is my thoughts on where this game will head in the future. Okay, it's not just going to be a 2D game. I believe that people will build this sort of stuff probably a lot better than that is. Okay, another example of that, which I've done in another video of mine, is just over here, and give me a sec, I'll find it down here again. My thoughts are, when the game is up and going and it's working, this could take 5 years, who knows, depends on how fast they can get this thing done. The developers, yes, they're making money out of selling off this land at the moment, but the advertising is where they'll get their money. Okay, so if someone like Coca-Cola, McDonald's wants to put an ad in their game on a billboard or that sort of thing, possibly they'll have to pay a fee to do it. Okay, and if you own the block of land where this thing's sitting, maybe you'll end up with some of the rewards from that. Okay, if you go to their FAQ in the game, alright, there's different phases. The first bit is claim your land. Okay, so at the moment they're buying and selling land. I wouldn't sell anything at the moment. You're better off just buying a bit of land and sitting on it and see what happens from there, I suppose. That's what my plan is. I've just bought some land here and there and everywhere, and I'm going to sit on it. Phase 2, which is coming out in the first half of 21, your land will have different types of resources, possibly. So maybe if you've got heaps of trees in your land, you can get wood. Maybe if you've got a gold mine, you'll get gold. No one knows the answer to this stuff yet, but you got to think, what sort of stuff have you played in games, and what resources have they used? I mean, I've played games like Dune, and they had spice. So on the ground was like a orange mineral you used to try and harvest, and that was how you got money in the game. No one knows the answer to this, but from what I've watched so far, is a lot of people are buying up mines. I've bought some mines myself. If you go into buy land, this will go into my little profile, and I can go over here and I can show you a little bit. Now I've been doing mines myself, because why not? If you've got a gold mine, you might get gold. If you've got a coal mine, you might get coal. There's got to be reasons why they say that this is sort of might be a good place to buy. They did say it when they had the video the other day, when they're talking to the devs. I've been a bit cheeky. I've been putting Space Invaders everywhere. Right, this is something I've been doing. I've seen other people put QR codes on this thing already. Okay, if you do go to a mine, it's all completely filled up. Search around. You will find other ones in the area. Okay, sometimes there's other ones. If you want to buy mines, it's something I have seen. Antarctica. There we go. I would be buying some land down here because it's going to be going berserk, and I'm talking berserk. It's got squares everywhere. Now it's a bit hard to see this area when you zoom out. You're seeing nothing. Look how far out I go. So I'm in the middle of nowhere here, but there is lots of land being bought up around this area. Okay, look at it all. So every one of these tiles is a block of land. Now if I go out here where there's not much land, and I click on it, okay, that land is 31 cents. Okay, if I want to buy that, you go to details and you go buy now. Okay, buy now, it'll bring up this, and this is where you put your referral code. Now if you want to help me out, and I'll try and return the favor, if you put your code in the comments, there's my code there. I'll also drop it in the comments myself. You put it in here, you hit apply, and it'll give you a credit. So your credit will actually end up here in the white section. This is the money you can use to spend. This is what your land value is at and what you've spent already, I suppose. If you want to cash out, you can't cash this out unless you sell your land back into this box here. Okay, so this block's going to cost me 31 cents. If I want to buy it, you click that, you own the block of land, your flag ends up on it. It's that simple. Okay, if I want to go back out of here and then go back to the top, alright, I'll zoom back in here again. So you can see people have been a bit cheeky doing all sorts of stuff in here, but there's another one. That's all these people think of, isn't it? There's a smiley face. Some people are getting creative with it. Like I said, I've been dropping Space Invaders all over the place. I suppose you could come up with your own tags and things to do. I've also done a Punisher, like a skull. There's another smiley face there. There's words. There's penis. It's not spelt right. Anyway, the red boxes are bought. That means someone hasn't used. There's no flag selected in your settings. You can select different flags. That one hasn't selected a flag. Okay, you can sell your land in marketplace. I wouldn't bother touching this yet. It's up to you if you want to try and sell your land. There's like 900 pages of people trying to sell land. The only way you're going to sell in here is have a decent piece of land and have a good discount on it. Be aware there are scams in here. They're pretty easy to spot. The way to spot a scam is you'll see these will say like 90% off. Okay, I did another video on that, so check my other videos on the pump and dumps. Okay, and that's pretty well what there is to it. Alright, you can buy land, you can sell it, you can sit on it and do nothing, you can be creative and make things in the game there if you want to. Phase 2 were interesting when they released that, because that's when the game's either going to make or break. I think if you've got some land that can do something, you can maybe get resources to build things, and then I think they're going to start releasing the land out this week and build on it, and that's going to be where it starts off. I think this has a lot of potential. It's a building space for the future of gaming or three-dimensional VR. You can put whatever you want in here. If you want to build a pyramid, you can build a pyramid. If you want to build your house, you can do that. You want to build they said they're having tunnels, so you could build an underground city. You could build in the ocean. There's so much you could probably do with it. Okay, it is a game, but at the same time, it's a building platform for something bigger. And people say, oh, it's a Ponzi scheme. Yeah, well, it could be, but everybody said that about Bitcoin too. Bitcoin was a Ponzi scheme, and look where it went. These things either go or they don't, and you could be into something here that's going to go. You could be losing your money. Don't put more than you can afford, to lose, because it could just all crash and they just go nut. But from what I've seen, okay, the developers in this thing, they look legit. I've done a bit of research on them. From what I can tell, one of them's had 30 years in gaming. He's built games and stuff like that himself. There's been a few devs in this game that are, they look like they're pretty switched on and know what they're doing. And I like the fact they're not all in one area too. Like, they're all scattered all over the world. So it looks like the guy that thought of this thing up has done his research, and he's got some devs from all over the world that know what they're doing, and they're pretty clued up to do it. I think they're going to be employing more, because they said this thing's had 12 months worth of growth in 2 weeks. Okay, so this thing's only been out for like 5 to 7 weeks now, I think, and it's blowing up. Each block of land started out at 10 cents. Okay, so no matter where you went in the world, each block of land was 10 cents. Now, some countries have gone crazy. US is obviously the most popular, and anywhere you go now in the US, if you want to buy 1 square of land over here, and people are still buying it, no different to Bitcoin, I suppose, $24 a block. Okay, there's other countries that are getting up there. Australia is one of them, UK is the other one, Canada's getting there. There's a few obviously well-known places, populated areas. Eventually you'll see China and places like that go too. So be smart, don't put in too much of it, but at the same time have a bit of fun, get your mates involved. If you want to get a kickstart, use my referral code. I'll drop it in the description too. Okay, this will give you a 5% credit. At the moment, it's only a temporary thing by the look of it. So if you spend $100, I'll get 5% and you'll get 5%. Yes, it helps me out. It helps everybody out. You share the codes around. That's what it's all about. It's getting people in the game, getting them involved, and yeah, helping each other out. Get a piece of land and a bit of IT, Earth 2 IO, and yeah. All right. Thanks for watching.